Alright boys, we're going to show the HF2 coil on the Deus 2 and the Manticore the MA coil here. You know, here's a noticeable difference. Now keep in mind, left to right dimensions on both of these coils are slightly different, but that's not exactly what's driving this here. It may be driving part of it, in the sharpshooter's opinion. The old aluminum twist cap, you see it there, and you see that 10-karat gold ring, right? So you're out in all-terrain, low conductors. I've got the screen open. We'll check all the speeds, starting with number 8. That's one region, all tone. So if you look at ID Tennessee in that meter, and you get to listen to that audio, speed 7. Speed 6. Again, watch the meter. Speed 5. Locked up. See that trace there? Speed 4. Alright, now I'm going to come out here and take the gold ring out of play. That's pretty close to what that ring is, or that aluminum twist cap is reading, okay? About 73. Somebody stopped to ask me about deer hunting. I turned the camera back on. Now remember, aluminum twist caps, you know, they can be sort of funny shaped, you know. And even one of those solo could cause the screen on this detector to, we'll just say, misbehave, meaning it won't show a round target per se, okay? Now there's speed 5 again. You get to hear that. Normal sweep speed, you're coming around. Now, from over here, oh, we've got that gold ring, huh? So, you know, we got a gold ring range signal. That's not a gold ring range signal on this machine. 73, 74. You see that? Listen. 3 inches above. 4 inches. Okay, so you got to hear this machine. That was speed 5. I'll come back over here. 4 inches in speed 4. Four inches speed 6. What I'm saying is, would you suspect there's another target there besides what's pumping that 70s stuff in this meter? You might just keep on trucking, huh? And you know that ID there is not silver coinage generally, is it? You see what I'm saying? You might suspect that's a junk target there you're hearing. Let me turn the camera off and set this Deus 2 up. It's windy out here. Alright, Deus 2 is on. We may look at 53 kilohertz while we're looking at this machine, since it does offer it, okay, for a band of multi-frequency. This is the 29 kilohertz band, channel 0, speed 2.5. Listen, you got 92, full tones, 2-3 inches above. Hardly any sign, if any at all, that that gold ring exists, or a lower conductor, we'll say. 89 kilohertz. channel 6, you see the speed, 2.5. Now, I checked a lot of speeds on that machine over there, okay? And you got to listen to that thing. I think you could hear it in this camera. Now, this is full tones. Offset number 8. What do we get? Listen. You hear that? And the meter is tracking that gold ring. It's dropping to 64. I didn't see no ID moving around on that machine much. Going into gold ring range. You see that? Listen. Now, if you sweep fast, you won't see the meter move so much, but listen. You hear that? Now, that's speed 2.5. Here's speed 1.5. Now that meter's tracking down to 72. You hear that? I'll go back to 2.5. So I've got 98 in the meter. 2.5, I don't see much of an ID swing coming off, coming down. But I hear that racket. Speed 2. Now the ID has come down. You see that? So I've come over a target and I hear that sound in there. Like, wait a minute. We'll look at speed 1. See it? See what it is over there when I get back on the other side? Okay, we're going to go back to speed 2.5. You hear that? Okay, I'm going to change the frequency of this machine to multi-frequency band to 53. What do we hear now? You hear that? See that meter dropping? You sweep too fast, but you hear the audio. You hear that? Okay, now I'm going to lift this gold ring out of here. What do we hear now at speed 2.5? Now this is a 53 kilohertz band. You hear that. Here's the 89 kilohertz band, channel 6. You hear that. When I put that gold ring, now I can't say that's exactly where it was, but listen. You hear that? So in the wild, if you were looking for gold rings and you weren't digging every signal, especially these things, you see what that is. Now it is smashed a little bit, all right, but you get to see the audio on this machine. Listen. So it's letting you know, uh-oh, there might be something else down there maybe besides. You get to wiggle that call. You see what I've got in that meter? 98, 99 in the 89 kilohertz band. If I go back to the 53 kilohertz band and wiggle that call, I've got the same thing. That's from 3 inches above. 95, 96, listen. You hear that? That's a distinct difference in these two machines right here. Granted, there are some call dimension differences, but I don't think that's the total thing of what we're seeing there. I think there's some frequency causing that. Frequency used. That's going to conclude the video.